What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Slackers, bringing you guys our next matchup in the Everyone Is Here tournament. If you haven't seen it before, simple stuff, 100 characters put into a tournament each day on the channel. I upload one of the matches from the tournament, except Sundays, and then I'll go over both the characters that happen to be in the matchup for the day, maybe some facts, maybe mini moveset pool, how they could potentially work, that sort of stuff, and then we'll vote for which one of the two characters you'd rather see in Smash Bros. As a DLC character. And yeah, that's pretty simple. I do have a Discord. You want to join it? It's all about like fighting raid bosses that I create, and you guys, if you want to join the Discord, link in the description. There you go, quick plug. All right. Anyway, but yeah, let me just show you guys the rules for this whole thing, shall we? All right. As you can see, rule number 1 is for fun. Why? Yeah, that's a rule. Okay. Yeah, that has to be a rule because I want you guys to always imagine, or always remember, not imagine, always remember to vote for who you personally want. Not who's necessarily more likely, but who you personally would rather have as one of the two characters that happen to be in the matchup. You vote that way. Alright? That's why it's for fun. Yeah, do remember you only get 1 vote per person. I do check that stuff. You only get 1 vote, but you are allowed to vote for both characters, which is completely fine. Just simply type both. If that's the way you're going to vote, just simply type both. It all works. It's all fair. It's all fun. It's all good. So, yeah. The rest of the rules, though, you are allowed to, I just said you're allowed to vote for both. The other rest of the rules, this is a double elimination tournament, meaning a character has to lose twice before being officially eliminated. Once we get to the results to determine winner and the loser of the matchup, if there happens to be a tie in the voting, we'll just flip a coin on camera. It's the fairest way to break a tie. And then each matchup, voting-wise, only lasts for 1 week. So once the matchup gets uploaded, you have 7 days to get your 1 vote in. If it comes in after the fact, well, it will simply not count because time already ran up. And yeah, that's all the rules, so let's jump into the rest of the video, shall we? Alright, let's go over the results from last week, which actually was a pretty fair, it was a pretty interesting matchup. I think that's a pretty polite way to put it. It was Fortnite default, Jonesy, the default skin, was taking on Sora from Kingdom Hearts, so it's kind of interesting to see how that would work. Are there still fans of Fortnite? Or is Sora going to end up overtaking this one by a large amount of votes? Well, the latter happened. There you go. So, wait, where's this at? Oh, it's up here. Okay, it's up here. There we go. Sora ended up winning this one 63 votes to Fortnite only getting 11. It went pretty much the way a lot of us would imagine the voting to go. People vote Sora, and then they say something along the lines of, I don't like Fortnite, keep Fortnite away from Smash Bros, yada, something to that effect. I think most of us could imagine that. But the few people that did vote for default said he could bring an interesting style to the character, kind of like how I was explaining, maybe a building somehow incorporated into the moveset. Would be an interesting character, but majority of the people went Sora. So Sora, congrats, you moving on to the next round. Fortnite default, you gone, goodbye. You gotta go back to Spawn Island and stay there. Alright, but yeah, congrats, Sora moves on. So that means we go to the next matchup of the tournament, which we have another, again, we're in the loser bracket, so interesting stuff here. Where are we at? It's still down here. Where are we at? Okay, jeez, it's so far down. So many matches, and we still have so many more to go. That's crazy. But anyway, the matchup for the day, a very fun one. I like this matchup, actually. I like it for a couple of reasons. But the matchup is Chun from the Street Fighter series, a very iconic female fighter, female character in gaming just overall, and her opponent, Kos-Mos, however you want to pronounce it. I'll pronounce it 3 different ways probably, but Chun-Li versus Kos-Mos, whatever. That's the matchup for the day. So this one should be, I'm curious to see how this one plays out. So we'll start Chun-Li, right? No, go away. Go. There we go. Go away. Thank you. All right. We're good. Okay. So, Chun-Li, what makes her interesting? Yeah, she is in Smash Bros. As a spirit. Who cares? This is voting for who you personally want. Not for who's more likely to happen, but for who you want. So anyway, Chun-Li, iconic name in gaming, has been around for decades. When you mention fighting games, people will mention Smash Bros. You'll get Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken, all these Soul Calibur. You'll get all these different fighting franchises to get mentioned. Chun-Li is one of the most recognized characters and one of the most recognized names when it comes to the fighting game franchise. Like I said, been around for decades, has a huge following of fans, and, well, you already come from a fighting game, so putting that character into Smash Bros., well, the moveset is already the moveset's already made, right? So the moveset's not an issue whatsoever. So Chun-Li. Now, I think the cool thing about Chun-Li is that she was kind of, I'm not saying she was the first one by any means, but like the early 90s, 2000s, kind of like that era, there weren't a ton of, like, females at really the forefront. Yeah, sure, there were some. I'm not saying there weren't any, but Chun-Li was out there, and I think that's what makes her so special, is that she's been doing this for decades, and there's such a, I don't know, there's something really awesome and great about her character, and I think putting that into Smash Bros. Would be fantastic. Now, my personal opinion, since I completely understood why they put Ken in, because he's the living embodiment of an Echo Fighter, so it made complete sense to put Ken in the roster. But if it were up to me and Street Fighter were to be in Smash Bros. And then only have 2 reps, it would have been Ryu and Chun-Li, let's be honest, alright? I think she deserved it more than Ken. Maybe, you could debate that, I guess, but that's just my opinion. So, Chun-Li, again, moveset is easy. The name is extremely recognizable. It would just, and to that point, it helps sales. When people know who a character is, they're more likely to buy the character. You're not going to look at some niche character that you've never heard of and go, am I going to take a chance on this character? I know nothing about them. I don't know how their play style is. Because let's be honest, that's something about Smash Bros. The only way to get a good read on a character, you have to watch videos about other people playing the character. Okay, and then, like, the whole issue with that, though, is you personally, you don't get to feel how the character moves and plays, and you don't get a sense of their... So, the whole point is, are you willing to spend that extra money to go buy this additional DLC character? Or are you going to kind of be like, alright, I have no idea who it is, I'm just going to pass. And unless somebody is saying, unless you got friends that are like, yeah, absolutely buy it, or whatever it might be, just as for a casual fan, I think it's tougher for people to pay that extra money for an additional fighter that they know nothing about. So that's, I guess, the whole lure of Chun-Li here, is that most people know who she is, and I've repeated that like multiple times. So yeah, nailed that into the ground. All right, we can move on from that topic. But yeah, again, she's kind of got it all. And if you're gonna talk females that deserve to be in Smash Bros., she's on that list, 100%. 100%. I mean, sure, there's other females in gaming that aren't in Smash Bros. At all. Lara Croft comes to mind. Her opponent, Kos-Mos, comes to mind. There's many other ones. Jill Valentine comes. There's so many that come to mind. But Chun-Li, if you're going to make a list of female fighters, just female characters in general that deserve to be talked about for Smash Bros., she's on the list. All right, that's my whole point. So I like Chun-Li. I think a lot of people do, but we'll see how she does in this matchup, because her opponent happens to be Kos-Mos, whatever, okay? I'm going to say it how I want to say it, but she's a very interesting character. So she had that leak. Obviously, it was fake big time. I covered it last week, but lately she's been the flavor of the month for, I guess she's been the flavor of 2 months now. Like, going back to the Game Awards back in December, roughly about a month ago now, her name was synonymous with leaks, and yep, she's guaranteed to happen. This is gonna happen. She's all this evidence and da-da-da. People are pulling evidence out of their ass for one, alright? No, unless Nintendo has a slip-up, or Nintendo or Sakurai officially announces it, there's not evidence for it. You can make up all the evidence you want in your head for a character. That doesn't mean it's actual evidence, alright? And so many leaks have been trying to push Kos-Mos as that next fighter. Could she happen? Sure, she could happen. But then you got the whole thing, what was that, last week or maybe 2 weeks ago? Where, who was it, Monolith? Wasn't that who it was? No, Bandai. Bandai came out and said something along the lines of, her series isn't profitable enough. And it was like, alright, if they're not going to put somebody who's from a series that's not profitable. Why would they put the single character? And then the counter argument is, well, she has such a big following and a big fan base. And let's go back a year, all right? Maybe a little farther than a year ago. Before Smash Ultimate came out, was she being talked about a lot by the community? No. Let's face it. Her name wasn't being brought up. It took one person from one fake... It was a fake leak, let's be honest. Somebody made a fake leak about Kos-Mos, and then that's how people draw attention to it. So, as a contender, I think she's got potential. I'm not gonna lie. All right, I ain't gonna sugar. Moveset is easy. She's crossed over into fighting games before. She's been in like Project X Zone. She's been in Soul Calibur. She's been in. She was just recently in Xenoblade 2 on the. Was that the Switch or whatever? Yeah, she's like a part of the DLC, and a lot of people are starting to think, all right, does Nintendo own her? Does Bandai? Does Monolith? Who owns her? I don't think Nintendo actually owns her. I actually don't know. I'd have to look that up myself. But she's got ties to Nintendo, which is, I guess that's a plus, right? So if you got ties to Nintendo, does that help your chances? Maybe. I don't think necessarily. I mean, look at Joker. Has Joker ever been on a Nintendo console before? I don't know. I don't play Persona. I don't want to. But Kos-Mos, I don't know. I kind of feel like she's the flavor of the month. I'm not saying that that's bad by any means. The character could be a flavor of the month and still happen. Personally, for Kos-Mos, with the characters that are being talked about right now, for me, like Kos-Mos and Arley and like Dante, for example, Kos-Mos would be the character I'd prefer out of those three characters. Dante, especially Arley, do absolutely nothing for me. You vote for Frank. Thank you for your vote, Raph. But yeah, Arley does nothing for me. Kos-Mos actually has a pretty unique style. She's like this female android armored robot girl, and she could shoot like giant laser beams out of her like abdomen. She's got like all sorts of different weapons. She moveset is phenomenal. Great potential. I like the character, but she's not like by any means a character that I'm, fully in support of. I'm not like 100% in the boat of, yeah, I want to see Kos-Mos. If she happens, I'm down with it. Plus, I don't know, there seems to be, again, evidence, but make up your own evidence, and anybody will call it evidence, right? But there seems to be maybe some things that are leaning maybe one way towards the other, whatever it might be. I don't know. I'm rambling. Let's just go to the voting. For this one, I like the character Kos-Mos a lot, but I think I'd rather honestly have Chun-Li. I'd rather have Chun-Li over Kos-Mos. I think Kos-Mos could have the better kind of playstyle. I kind of envision Kos-Mos a tiny bit similar to kind of Samus. And Samus is one of my more played characters, so that's kind of weird. But I think just in terms of who I'd rather see, Chun-Li is gonna get my vote. I don't think she's gonna win this one. I really don't. I think Kos-Mos. I think people are gonna show up and support. More than Chun-Li will get support, but hey, you never know what will happen. Anyway, that is it. Let me know who you're voting for, Chun-Li or Kos-Mos, or whoever you want, or however you pronounce their name. But anyway, that is it. A little sneak peek for tomorrow. Tomorrow's matchup. We have Captain Syrup from the Wario series. So yeah, the female pirate is back. And her opponent happens to be Mono Kuma from the Danganronpa series. So another character that's, I think, kind of being slept on and could be kind of maybe a niche sort of pick, maybe. I don't know. Could be interesting. But, yeah, that's the matchup tomorrow. And then, where's the results? Who's the results? Tomorrow's results we'll get for Ezio Auditore, who's taking on Octolings. But, yeah, that's tomorrow. Today's today. Today's wrapping up. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.